Diamondlot, The Diamond Squad. By Eric Waugh. Chapter 27. The Fallen. The sun was up and Vance had just opened his eyes on the bottom bunk. He thought it was strange that it was so quiet because usually his sister would be nagging him to get out of bed. He called for Olivia, but there was no reply. He checked the top bunk and found the bed all neat and tidy, which meant no one had slept there the entire night. Vance rushed down the stairs where he saw Nathan still sound asleep. He placed his hands on his shoulders and shook him awake. When Nathan woke up, they realized both Olivia and Bella were missing. They rushed outside to find neither of them there. They were about to begin their search, but they saw someone in the distance returning to the cottage. It was Ryan. He rushed back to tell them grave news that Olivia and Bella were in danger. They asked Ryan what happened and where they were. He pointed them in the direction of the forest and they began heading that way immediately. With their backs turned to Ryan, he grabbed 2 arrows from his quiver and loaded his bow. He released them at the defenseless mage and warrior. After some time had passed, Olivia woke up and found herself locked in a cage. She saw Bella lying unconscious in a cage across from her. However, her hands were tied behind her back with chains that prevented her from casting any magic. She struggled, hoping to break free until she heard an animal calling to her from a different cage. Within a small cage was a tiny dog that Olivia wasn't expecting to find. It was the dog that Ryan had been searching for. Biscuit. Her excitement was short-lived as the woman with the scythe had entered. When she arrived near Olivia's cage, she sat down and began to speak. She asked about Olivia's brother and what it was like living with him. Sensing no ill intent from her, Olivia answered to the best of her ability.
Well, we don't always get along. Sometimes it's very frustrating because he doesn't do what I tell him. But to be honest, I ain't the easiest person to deal with. I know he puts up with me, and he is a very caring person. Life wouldn't be the same without him, and no one could replace him as my brother.
The brief story brought a genuine smile to the woman's face. Olivia was surprised as she wasn't expecting to feel emotions other than hate for her enemy. Olivia's story reminded the woman about her younger brother who she cared for. She thanked Olivia for sharing. She told Olivia that Ryan would deliver her the little boy with the giant sword. Once she had him, she would let both Olivia and Biscuit go free. Olivia asked about Bella. The woman suggested that Olivia leave immediately after she was set free tomorrow. Bella would remain her prisoner. She began to turn around to walk away, but Olivia had one more request. She wanted to know the woman's name and what happened to her brother. The woman was known as Kalea the Fallen. She refused to talk about her brother and left the area. Olivia then turned to Bella's cage, hoping for her friend to regain consciousness. Within her head, Bella woke up in a dream realm covered in mist. She shouted hoping someone would hear her, but the only thing that returned was the echo of her voice. Without a response, she walked aimlessly, hoping to escape. After walking for what seemed like hours, Bella saw a silhouette of a person in the distance. She reached the person at the end, who was lying on the ground and not moving, but it wasn't just anyone. The person she saw was herself. Bella's mind couldn't comprehend what was going on. She reached out her hand towards the body, looking to find a vital sign, but she felt nothing. Then she heard the sound of water behind her. She turned around to find that there was a pond there. When she looked over the pond, she saw in the reflection the face of a man she didn't recognize. She thought she was hallucinating, so she rubbed her eyes. Upon reopening them, she saw her own face on the reflection of the pool. Bella thought she was going crazy, and then she began hearing voices telling her to get up. The voice grew louder, telling her that her friends needed her help. Those were the final words she heard as the world within her mind faded.